Hey, friends, I hope the morning's treating you well. It's a little bit of a rainy day here and overcast right now. I ran outside in between downpours and figured I would say hey to you guys. I was reading this article in the Telegraph, and it was an interview with Kenny Jones, and he said that he's been recording stuff with Ron Wood and Rod Stewart, and they're working on something that will end up being a new Faces album. The first Faces album in 50 years. So I didn't know that was even possible. I personally love the Faces, and the idea of getting another Faces album sounds pretty cool to me, but I really wish this could have happened, you know, back before Ian McLagan passed away. That seems like it would have been really the time. Now, in reading all of this, I guess the remaining members of the Faces got together like 4 or 5 years ago and did some awards show, played Stay With Me on an award show. I had no idea. I don't watch award shows because there usually isn't anything cool like the Faces reuniting on there. So I haven't seen it. Have you guys seen it? I'm gonna look it up when I'm done with this and see if it was fun. But I really, in particular, I love Ron Wood. He's um he's a lot of what I really love about electric guitar players. Those guys that kind of play piano on guitar, and it's simple stuff, but it really, really sounds great in a song context to my ears. And so I love stuff like Cindy, incidentally, or Stay With Me. Had me a real good time. There's so many great Faces songs with great guitar parts. And there's those clips. I don't know what it was. There's an old clip of them playing Stay With Me live that I've seen on YouTube. And there's a magic between those guys that just doesn't seem to exist that often in bands. And it's definitely one of those things where the whole was much greater than the parts, where something about this recipe of people when they got together and made music, raggedy, loose, but just muscular in the right ways without the I don't know. Muscular sounds, as far as music, gives some bad connotations that don't fall into this. There's just a swagger to their playing, and it's beautiful. And Rod Stewart, one of the great rock and roll voices of all time. Um, I love watching that stuff. There's intangibles to it that are hard to place, and a lot of people over the years have tried to like dip into that little well and pull something out for themselves, but it's hard to mimic. And I got to see Ron Wood when the Stones played at the Titans football stadium. I got to go see that. That's the only time I think I've ever seen Ron Wood play live, and that was with the Stones, and it was great. Ron Wood isn't one to do a lot of wood shedding before tours start, so he wasn't totally on top of his game, but I loved it. Everything about it was great. The Stones put on a great, great show, and in all honesty, I went to see that just to see the Stones. Whereas that's honestly enough. Plus, I got free tickets. That didn't hurt. But Amy and I went, and if they walked out there and just kind of stunk the place up, it would still be pretty cool because it's the Stones. You got to see those, be there in the same space as those human beings. But man, they did not stink it up. They were freaking great. Which, when you're not expecting a lot and they're great, it really, was all over the top great. But I got to meet Ian McLagan, and there's a lot of folks I know in Austin that were friends with him and close to him, who I'm hoping to, interview sometime and get some stories from some of those folks sometimes. But I was in Austin, man, I don't know how long ago, 20 years ago maybe, and I went out to eat by myself somewhere. I just picked up something and ate, and I walked out of where I was eating and started walking down the street, and I turned the corner, and there's a friend of mine, Raji, and she was standing next to Ian McLagan, and she's like, "Otis, how you doing? Have you met Mac?" And I'm like, no, and met him, and she's like, you need to go to dinner with us. Have you eaten? And I just walked out of eating, and I go, no, I'm starved. And they're like, well, won't you come eat with us? So I went and had dinner, and just sat across from him, and he told stories, for an hour and a half, just really great road stories and fun stuff, and was just the nicest guy, and which is great as a person who loved the Faces. That was great to. And I remember when I toured with Billy Bragg. Billy did a tour with Ian McLaughlin, and Billy was a huge Faces fan, the Small Faces, and he ended up. He told a lot of stories to me then. I don't know if I could repeat them. I remember some of them, but it was beautiful. He just seemed like a great guy. And I saw one of Mac's final gigs. He played out back at Grimey's, like behind the basement in Nashville, when Grimey's was above that. There's a big parking lot back there. Not a big one. There's a, smaller than a football field parking lot back there, and there was a stage set up, and Ian McLaughlin played during the day, and my buddy Scrappy Judd Newcomb was playing guitar for him, which he did for a long time, and I went up and just kind of chatted them up, and they're like, yeah, we got to catch a flight to Austin. This was in the middle of the day, and they split, and I think that was one of the last however many gigs, because Mac passed away a couple weeks after that. But yeah, I've never seen Kenny Jones, I don't think. And you don't expect too much when folks get together after 50 years, but it's kind of cool that they're doing it. And in this article, I think he said they've recorded 10 songs, and it's not going to be out anytime this year, is what he said. But he said, we're starting to get some good songs going, and this has been an ongoing thing that Rod Stewart confirmed a few years ago. Why am I the last one to know any of this? Do you guys know this and you haven't been telling me? You're supposed to tell me these things, and I can tell you. But I saw Rod Stewart a couple times in the last few years, where my friend Julie was friends with. She worked for Rod Stewart, and she got us some really nice tickets at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. And it was really fun. And she got us tickets when he came to Deer Creek. I still call it Deer Creek for those folks out there from Indiana. You know what I'm talking about. It's still Deer Creek to me. We saw him and Cheap Trick out there. Me and my buddy Todd went out and had really, really good seats. It was beautiful. And, Rod Stewart just has like this big, vast catalog, one after the other, of great songs. And before that, Cheap Trick, who I love Cheap Trick to this day, that was beautiful to see them. And Cyndi Lauper opened the Nashville gig, and she was really good. Like, I really, really enjoyed that. And, I expected it to be like, this will be fun, whatever. And she was really, really good. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know anything about it, but maybe you guys can tell me down below. Have you ever seen any of the people in the Faces live, like I'm talking about? And did any of you see the Faces? I think there's probably a few people that did. There's a place that I stayed when I play in Leytonstone. There's a gig I do in Leytonstone neighborhood of London, and right around the corner is a pub with like a hotel on top called the Red Lion, and I stayed there a few times. And they have a ballroom. It's a small ballroom in there where the Faces used to play, and the Who. It was one of the first Zeppelin gigs with John Bonham. Some people say it was the first one, but I don't think that's correct. I made a video once there that I never put up because I don't think it was the first Bonham gig with Zeppelin. But man, it's a small place. It's not that big. It's like half of a basketball court size, with a big ceiling, but it's beautiful to go up those steps and think, man, the Faces used to play here. Imagine what that scene would have been like with the Who, and God, who else played there? There was a early Genesis gigs there. There were a bunch, but anyhow, Would have been a great time to be alive and be in London. But if you guys ever saw them, tell me down below. I'd love to hear about it. And I'll put some kind of video up here that you guys might want to watch after this. Had lots of good stuff in Patreon this week, and YouTube members. Some few videos. We recorded a music video that will premiere probably later today or tomorrow in the super secret area, and then it'll be public in a couple weeks. But if you care about those sort of things, go check it out. And watch this until then. And I'll see you somewhere down the road. Much love to you. It's starting to rain.